Hello students, hope you remember me after a long gap. I'm your CS lecturer. Because of the lockdown we are facing due to the coronavirus, we are not able to take the regular classes as scheduled. So we are going to go with the online classes. As you all remember, we have already completed a few chapters earlier. Before starting with the new chapter, let us have a brief recap about the earlier ones. And before starting, let me mention that as we will not be able to go for the complete chapter in one single session, as it is difficult to upload and download the lengthier files, we will be cutting the sessions shorter with 15 minutes of duration. So there will be a link between one session and the next session. It may take maybe 3 sessions or 4 sessions for one chapter to be completed. So have a link. I hope you all have your notes and pens ready. So let us start the class without further delay. Now coming to the first chapter that we have completed or done is your typical configuration of the computer system. The first chapter is typical configuration of computer system. Now before starting it, let us just see what a computer is. A computer is an electronic device. You already know the definition for that. A computer is an electronic device that accepts the data, processes the data and gives the information. That is your result. This is the definition for your computer. Now, what are the two basic units, important units of your computer? The computer has got two units, that is your hardware and software. Now, what is your hardware? Hardware is the components, the physical components that we can see and touch are known as your hardware, the physical components. Now, which are the physical components? The physical components, for example, you can call it as your mouse, your keyboard, monitor, etc. are your physical components. So, the things that you can see and touch is known as your hardware. Software. What are the software? Software is nothing but the set of instructions that you give to the computer. You are going to tell the computer what type of work it has to do. That is given by a set of instructions. That is your software. If you are going to go for your example, Windows or any programming languages, your Tally, anything, any of the languages, operating systems, all these come under your software. Now, let us start the next part, that is your block diagram of the computer. You already know what a block diagram of a computer looks like. Block diagram of computer. How many units are there? There are basically 4 units in your block diagram. The first one is your input unit, and then you have your memory. The memory unit consists of your primary memory and secondary memory, and then you have your CPU that consists of your control unit, your ALU and your registers, and your output unit. Now let us go in detail about this. Now, what is an input device? An input device is a device which is used to input or give the data into a computer system. This device may be wired or wireless. As an example, how do you give the input? You can give it through your mouse or you can give it through your keyboard. These are some of the input devices. Now, the next part is your memory unit. What is a memory unit? Memory unit is a unit which stores the data and programs before processing as well as after processing. The size of an individual character is 1 byte and it is also known as your memory cell. There are two types of memory. One is your primary memory and the other is your secondary memory. Primary memory is also known as your semiconductor memory. It includes RAM and ROM, where RAM is volatile and ROM is non-volatile memory. Secondary memory stores the large amount of data permanently. It is less expensive compared to your primary memory. Example is your hard disk, DVDs, pen drives, all those comes under your secondary memory. And next is your CPU, that is the central processing unit. It is the fastest computing device. It processes the input that is generated and gives you the desired output with high speed and accuracy. It is also known as the heart or brain of the computer system. The CPU contains the following parts, that is the control unit, the arithmetic and the logical unit, and the registers. Now, what is a control unit? The control unit is the one that schedules or controls all the jobs that are to be performed in the computer system. It gives signals for communication. Arithmetic and logical unit, that is, it performs the arithmetical operations and the logical operation. Arithmetical operations means addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulo operation. Logical is your and or not operation. The registers stores the data and the instructions temporarily, like your scratch pads. And the next unit is your output unit. Output is a device. Output unit is a device that is used to view and print the results. That is known as your output device. For example, you can have your monitor and printer. There are other devices also, that is, you can go on speakers, all those things can be mentioned. So this is about your block diagram of your computer. Now, the next part, the important part in this is your motherboard. In this chapter, you have your motherboard. What is a motherboard? Motherboard is one of the most essential part of your computer system. You can have this question, what is a motherboard, for 1 mark. Motherboard is one of the essential part of a computer system and it contains all the components of a computer system, including your CPU, memory and ports for your input and output purpose. And if you go for the definition of a motherboard is known as a printed circuit board, that is PCB, that connects all the components of the computer like your CPU, RAM, expansion cards, graphic cards, etc. Now, before going to the next chapter, the next further components of the motherboard, let us end the session over here, because we cannot take a long time, because uploading and downloading will be difficult. So let us further continue with the session of the next part in the next session. So at the end of this session, at the end of each and every chapter, I will be giving you questions. I have already given the questions. I'll be giving you the notes also for these chapters. And along with that, there will be questions which you are supposed to answer, and you have to send it to my email ID that I will be providing you with. So my email ID will be given to you. After the completion of each and every chapter, I want you to answer the questions that has been mentioned in the notes and send it to me. So the Next session will consist of the components of the motherboard and also the factors and the characteristics of the motherboard. And also the types of the motherboard. Thank you for watching the first session.